welcome to Kick Back and Chill. I'm your host, Dan YC, and we the only show where you can kick back, relax, and have some fun on this Friday afternoon in Midtown, New York City. I'm super excited. I'm pumped up because this guest I'm about to bring to the stage is the CEO of Divine Goal Spiritual Life Coaching that helps millennials get away from the traditional 9-to-5 to purpose-driven entrepreneurship. Not to mention, she has a podcast with it as well. Y'all show some love for Ashley. Ashley!
Hey!
What's going on?
How are you?
Have a seat, have a seat. Woo. How we feeling?
Good, pretty good, pretty good.
Okay, cool. Well, welcome to the function. I know we've been speaking, a couple of times. How you feel?
I feel good. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
I love the set. I love the vibe.
Of course, you have the function.
Yeah, listen, I love that you call it a function too. Because it's like, I guess to be yourself. Be authentic.
It's more of a kickback. Well, no pun intended, but, get to chill and relax.
I love it.
But I'm excited to have you here. And let's just get straight in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Divine Life Spiritual Coaching, right?
Yes.
Before we really dive deep into the business, I'm kind of curious to know, where did the idea come from and how did this all start for you?
So I'm a licensed social worker.
Okay.
So that's what I went to school for. Got my license, obviously, and I was so burnt out. Very burnt out. I was in the field, I would say, for about 5 years, and I was like, I just knew. I was like, I need to help.
This is not going to be your 20-year bid.
Hell no. Hell no. So it was just like, for me, I knew there was more purpose in what I had to do and how I do it. So for me, I knew that I needed to make a pivot. And I kept
That's
getting...
the word, pivot. That's what I kept saying.
Yeah, listen, life coach kept popping up in videos I watched, certain conversations, and I'm like, I never knew what a life coach really was. I knew what a therapist was. That's what I strive to be. Because when you're a social worker, they tell you, okay, if you want to do your own thing, right, you have a private practice. That's it. They don't teach you about entrepreneurship or what else, other opportunities out there. So I took a course on Udemy or one of those sites, and I got certified that way. They mostly say you don't need a certification to be a life coach, but I'm like, listen, I'm gonna get certified.
I'm gonna do what I want.
Because I'm always a student first. So
Absolutely.
I want to make sure that if I'm going into this space, I want to make sure I educate myself and do the best that I can, right? And be the best life coach that there is.
Yeah.
So that way, by means of just getting certified, it just made sense. I already had the skills. I built it. I've learned. I've been in different spaces for social work, so hospitals, nonprofits, and it was all the same. And so I just knew I need to go out on my own. It wasn't the easiest. It wasn't what Ashley wanted at all, but God just led me here, and I have no regrets.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've always been curious, right? Excuse me, how people always feel like their 9-to-5, 3 to 11, 8 to 4, whatever your shift is, like a safe haven, right? But the harsh reality is, how safe can it be if, God forbid, knock on wood, at any given point they could let you go? And I feel like COVID really showed that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to, speak to you about, how was that transition from, getting something that's steady and now doing your own thing?
Whew.
Listen,
no.
I don't want to be too deep.
No, please. I tell everybody, I'm all about the deep. Listen,
okay.
I just sighed because it's a lot. It's a lot to get from that 9-to-5 mindset to the entrepreneur mindset. You think everybody has to glorify, I want to be an entrepreneur, have my own hours and all the things, but they don't know the real work that goes behind it. You're up late nights, you're up all night or and you're also constantly in that grind mode. I've been grinding now for 2 years. And the only reason why I had left that social work space, jumped back into it temporarily, but I was let go at the top of 2021.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. It was time. Listen, I had my resignation letter ready.
You was prepared. You was prepared for this stuff. Okay.
Okay. But God was like, you just about to get fired. It's okay. But it was time to go, and I knew it. And by that shift, I was really in that space of, at the time too, I had a photography business. So it gave me a little preview of what it meant to be you know, my own boss and just to like do things on my own terms and have that freedom, which I never experienced. It was the best time of my life. I mean, listen, it really, and I think entrepreneurship is that self-discovery journey. Like, I learned more about myself, what I'm capable of, because when you're in that 9 to 5, it's kind of like you hit your peak. You're doing the same.
It's like hitting the ceiling.
Yeah, it's like you do the same things every day. It's so boring at times or mundane.
Because
like,
it's so repetitive,
Yeah, it's like, all right, like, what else is there? Because I'm tired of this. I like we were talking about earlier, you hit that level. So what's the next level for me? Like, so for me, I was like, all right, photography, it's not, it's cool, but I need to go somewhere else where it's actually my purpose and calling. So through that whole time, I did go back as a ABA therapist with, was working with children, mostly like 2-year-olds who were diagnosed with autism. And so I would be their therapist. It was a cool job, but burnt out again. And I was like, dang, I thought.
But at least you realized, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
At least you realized with everything you tried, that wasn't something that you was passionate about at the moment. You realized you was getting burnt out easily. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The one thing I realized about today's day and age within our generation, if we don't like it, we're not going to do it.
Yes.
And we'll get rid of it fast. Even if we feel like the first option could be, I know I'm struggling financially, but I don't want to do this no more.
Right.
Or just flat out, I have the degree, I have all these certifications, but yeah, I may have to walk away, even if the pay is good or not. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's really my happiness over what, like, if I'm not feeling fulfilled, if I'm not feeling happy, or like, it's every day I'm waking up and I'm going to this place and it's breaking my heart, it's breaking my soul, it's breaking me down mentally. Like, is it worth it for real? Because money's not everything. And like, I feel like money, yeah, it's a motivator, but like, I'm not choosing my soul. I mean, I'm not choosing money over my soul. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in a space where I'm feeling fulfilled and I'm making an actual difference. I'm making an impact on the world because that's what I'm born to do. I came here for that reason. I just can't do the rat race type of deal.
Yeah. I always tell people to, when we think about life, right? We wasn't brought on this earth to just pay bills and just be like, all right, I'm good, right? Now, I understand in today's day and age, well, coming from New York, you know, you have to do what you got to do. But the problem is nobody has a plan. So you may have that traditional 9 to 5er that's going to their job, going home, going to their job, going home, probably work out, probably hang out with their friends during happy hour. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you look at 3 to 6 months down the line, you realize, okay, you say you wanted this dream goal, but you haven't even took the necessary steps. And I feel like it displays a level of comfort. And I think the most dangerous thing is when you don't even know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Programming. Like,
Really?
I always talk about that. Yeah. I feel like a lot of the time society, you know, they give us this American dream. Like, you're supposed to go to college. You're supposed to get that job. Make the the white picket.
It was irritating you when you started to really read it.
Sir, where?
Yeah,
Where?
like you don't see like how is this a dream if it causes stress.
Yeah, like I'm not, it's not real. Like, you know what I'm saying? At least for us, you know, when I speak, it's like, where are we getting that as minorities? Like, that's not our reality. And I feel like we always have to work like 50 times harder, of course, for everything. And
especially with today's inflation.
Come on now. Come on, listen. I went to the grocery store yesterday. I was like, oh, that went up $1.19? Come on. Like, that's crazy. But, you know, for us, I feel like we always have to know there's another way. You know, it's not just one size fits all. It's not one way to get to, you know, whatever that goal is. So we just have to try, you know? And I always shout out Nike because the just do it is brilliant. Just do it. Just go for it. Like,
because there's no such thing as a perfect time. I agree. That's something I always got to keep in my mind.
Yeah.
You did mention therapist and life coach. I'm kind of curious to know, is there a difference or they share some similarities?
I feel like there's big differences. With a therapist, they're mostly dealing with diagnoses. I, as a life coach, do not deal with any type of diagnosis like anxiety, depression. I will never classify you. I'm not going to go into the DSM-5 and be like, you got this. Like, I'm not prescribing medication. Therapists don't prescribe medication, but a psychiatrist will, so they will work in a pair. A therapist, most likely, if you're going to a therapist, you may, not to say that they have the answers, but I feel like sometimes they will advise you in some way, whereas like a life coach, they believe that you have the answer within you already. So it's more or less like, guiding you to that answer, so to speak. Especially me as a spiritual life coach, like I'm really big on self-reflection. I'm really big on meditation. I'm really big on coming back to self. Because at the end of the day, you may be, coming to me, asking all the questions like, oh, what's my purpose? How can we develop this mindset? How can we push towards this goal? But I feel like you really know what you already want. You already know what you want. You really know, you probably already know how to get there. It's just like you need that accountability partner. And some things we may have to, really touch on when it comes to mindset, because I feel like that's the foundation for everything, really. No matter if it's like doing this, no matter if it's like you're entering the entrepreneur space, whatever it is, it's like you got to address that mindset.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break because then we're going to talk about your podcast. Plus, we're going to play a little rapid fire question, man, because you're here at the function, so it's only right we do it, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, more with Ashley on the way, so keep it locked and stay tuned.